I'm here to introduce the Tonic Craft Kit to you from Tonic. So this is a die that creates this gorgeous box here, and there's all kinds of different bits and pieces that you can use to create the detail on the front. So as you can see from the shape, it would be perfect for kind of kids' parties or like wedding favours. It's a really nice size, really nice shape, and you can fill it with all kinds of bits and pieces. So I'll show you the examples on the back. So as you can see, there's all kinds of different details that you can add, including the buckle, a little tag on the front, and we've also got this amazing trellis detail that I've got the example for here. And these are the dies that are included. So you've got all the detail that you can cut into it, the inserts, and then you've also got these buckles, little tags, and then these gorgeous like corner pieces here, just to create like a more authentic look. So I'm going to start by cutting the box template, which is this one here. And I've cut that twice using just this cream neutral card. And as you can see, it creates all these really nice sort of crease lines in it, so that it's really easy to assemble. So they're the two pieces that we're going to be working with. And I'm going to be creating this example here. So I'm going to be adding this really nice trellis detail, adding a little bit of colour, and then just finishing it off with that little label on the front there. So to start, I'm going to take the trellis sort of detail, and I'm just going to start building it up on the cutting mats. So that's just going to sit really nicely right in the centre there, so there's a really good space for it. I'm just going to secure that with a little bit of tape. And then I'm also going to cut at the same time the pieces for the edge. So I need to take that bit of tape off there. So again, that sits perfectly right in the centre there. And then I can do the other side once this is cut. So just roll that straight through. And it cuts really nicely. Even with the intricate detail, you'll only need to pass it through once. And then we should be left with a really nice cut out there that we're going to decorate with colour. We're going to put colour behind it so it stands out really nicely. So I want to cut, these pieces are going to fold in, so I want to cut the second side with the same die, just so that we've got that detail running all the way through. So I'm just going to take out these bits there. And again, just place it right in the centre. And roll that through the machine. So I'm using this really nice red colour, like a deep red. So if you wanted to personalise it for different occasions, then obviously you can choose your colours for boys, girls, whatever you need. This is more kind of like a vintage style suitcase, if you like. So I've used vintagey colours using the brown card as well, just to add a bit of extra detail. Okay, so that's the piece that you're going to be left with. And then this is going to form the back piece. So if you wanted to cut the detail out of that as well, then feel free. But I'm just going to use that front piece there. And I've got these three bits cut out already. So these are included in the die. So you get the outline here, and obviously that fits perfectly into that shape there. So once you cut that, you know that it's going to fit really well just sitting behind there. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue using the Craft tacky glue, and you get the really fine tip on this so you can get in all the detail. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm just going to go around the edge of these and just get as much as you can so you know it's going to be secure. That should be fine. And then you're just going to stick that right in the centre there, just line up all the edges. And then it will come through really nicely on the detail on the front, as you can see. So I'm just going to repeat that for these two side pieces. And again, this die comes in the set so that you know that that's going to fit perfectly into there as well. So just do that one more time. I'm just going to do little spots up the middle. As long as you catch most of it with the glue, then it will be fine. And stick them into place. Same on this side. Okay, that's perfect. Fits really nicely. So now once you've got these pieces put together, you'll begin to see how it's all going to fit together, just to make the little box here. So to start, we're going to start assembling the box together. So you want that as your front piece, but you're going to follow the crease lines that the die has marked for you, and that just makes everything so much easier. So just going to fold along them and use all these tabs to assemble the box. So they're the side pieces. So these side pieces are going to be covered by these, so don't worry about decorating them. Again, the top bits here. These little tabs. And you can see that these pieces are just going to bend round and attach to those tabs there. And that's going to start forming the shape of your box. But to start, I'm just going to do the bottom. So stick these. Again, I'm just using the glue, but if you wanted to use double-sided tape, that's fine. Fold them in. And just hold them down for a couple of seconds. And then repeat on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to stick these down now and then do the same for this piece, and it's all just going to slot into the front so that the front piece is all you're going to see. So again, I'm just going to use just a bit of glue along all these tabs here. And as you bend this round, just going to press it down along that edge. Just make sure the edge is all lined up. Okay, and again on this side. And just roll them down. So as the box starts to assemble, you can see what kind of size it's going to be as well, which makes it really nice. And it would be probably at this point where you would try and fill the box. and then we're going to stick it all together onto the front, and then these bits are going to go around so that the detail will be all round the edge. So I'll just pop that to one side while I fold along these creases. Okay, so just fold along all these creases there, and again on the tabs along the top. Okay, so now if you wanted to create a sort of seamless edges for the box, I would suggest sticking this onto the outside so that when you look at it from the front you won't be able to see any gaps. And obviously you need these pieces to be on the outside so that you can see the detail. Okay, so I'm just going to again stick the tabs to the bottom of your second piece. Just pop that under there and fold it over. And again on that side. Okay, so this bit can be quite fiddly if you wanted to make sure that all the tabs stick into the right places. So that's going to have to stick onto, they can stick on the outside. So you just want to make sure everything's in the right place. So you've got that seamless finish on the front. So I'm going to stick those tabs to what we've already got, and then these detailed pieces to the tabs that will be on the top there. And then you know that everything is secure, nothing's going to be out of place. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue along there. And the glue makes it really easy to get into all the sort of edges and the nooks and crannies, which is perfect. You just want to make sure all your edges line up so that you've got a sturdy box at the end. It's a really nice decorative piece this, so you could use it in all kinds of occasions. It's just a really nice way of adding a bit of extra detail, handmade detail. And then as I finish it off with the top bits, it will all be secure then. So I can just apply a little bit of glue onto the tabs, but also I can just put it on that top bit there as well, just so that I know it's going to stick down in place. And that should just bring it all together really nicely. And again on the other side. And it overlaps slightly, so you can add a bit of glue along that edge as well. Okay, so that's the box assembled. I'm just going to keep holding that for a couple of seconds, just so that I know it's all secure. And then we're going to cut the really nice detail on the front. So I'm going to be using the same die that I used for the red, just to cut this strip on the front, just to add a little bit of decoration onto the front there. And then that will also cover the fold, so that you know that's all going to look really neat and tidy. So that's just this die here, and I'm going to just cut it using the same colour so that it all ties in really nicely. But if you wanted to cut the other bits at the same time, you could use your brown card or whichever colour you fancy to cut the label at the top on the front, sorry, and the handle at the top. So I've just got a sort of scrap piece of brown there. And the handle will be this die here. So I'm just going to place that down, and I've already cut the little tag already, the luggage tag. If you wanted to use a bit of tape to secure that, that's fine. I'm just going to roll that straight through. And then all our bits and pieces are cut out then. So we can just start decorating. As you can see as well, I've used a little bit of the glimmer paste to decorate. So it just adds the extra bit of sparkle on the front and on the tag there. And I've also added it to the handle just for an extra bit of dimension. Okay, so they're the pieces that we're going to need. And I'll put the die to one side. So with this piece, you want to just measure from the middle how far you want it to come down at the front, and just fold it over the fold at the top so that it covers it all. If you just want to press down on those folds. So you know they're going to be straight. And then again, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue just to secure that. So I'm going to glue it to the back and to the top. And that's all you need. And it just sticks right over the middle there. Okay. So that's the front of your box there. And all I've done is I've literally just stuck the tag onto the front, just using a bit of glue. Now there is a hole that does cut out of it, so if you wanted to punch a hole in this piece and thread a bit of ribbon through, then that's fine as well. But just for ease, I'm going to just stick that onto the front, and then just use a little bit of twine just to add the extra finishing detail there. So I've written on the label just with the Nuvo pens in gold again, just to keep in with the theme. So I'm just going to write for you. And then on the brown, you can just see it catches the light a little bit, just for a little bit of extra detail. I'm going to stick that on the front there. And then just add the twine on the handle. So with the twine, I've just literally got one length of it, and I've tied it into a little bow, just freehand. It doesn't need to be too big, so it sits really nicely on the front. Again, I'm just going to attach that with a bit of glue. Just cut off that excess there. And then that sits really nicely on the front there. So just a tiny bit of glue on the back there. Stick that down over the hole that's been cut out. And it just finishes it off, just to give it that extra bit of a vintage theme. Okay, and then with the handle, you've got these two pieces that have been cut with the die. So that just allows you to kind of bend it into shape. And there'll be the two tabs that you stick on the top. So again, just a tiny bit of glue on those edges. Stick that on the top there, if you wanted to line it all up. Okay, and to get the kind of sparkly, glittery bits, I've just used the gold glimmer paste. So I've just used this as a paint. There's plenty of other ways you can use it, but I think with a paintbrush you can just get into the finer detail. So I'm just going to add a few spots of it onto the tag, and when it just catches the light and it just gives it that extra little bit of detail, which is all you need, a bit of sparkle. And I'm just going to decorate in the same sort of way as the example and just pick out the detail in the sort of trellis shape. So you don't need to use a lot of this, it's literally just that extra little bit. Gives it that extra dimension to the product. In each space like that. And then I've just painted the top of the handle as well. Just again for that extra little bit of sparkle. And it dries really quickly and it kind of covers the whole area that you're painting, so it is really good product. If you needed to scrape off any of the excess bits, then that's fine. You can kind of move it all around. And just painting with it allows you to get into all the little corners as well. Okay, so that's my finished piece there. So again, I just used all the dies in the set. There's other little bits and bobs that you can get, other bits of detail. So I've got the label on the front there and finished it off with a bit of twine and the glimmer paste there. So thanks very much for watching.